Okay, gonna make some tortillas. Need to get yourself, if you want to do the same thing, you're gonna need some, what is it, mazica, corn flour. Now, 2 cups of corn flour to 1.5 cups of warm water. Mix it in there, knead it, make little balls from it, put a ball into one of these, squish it down, throw it on the hot plate. That's all it takes. Got yourself corn tortillas, just as if you were in Mexico. Don't know how much corn flour I have, so we're gonna find out.
Trying to take control of the Atlantic, which by 1943 was pretty much an Allied victory. While U-boats remained a problem throughout the war, the big battleships of the German Navy were gone.
More than I thought, actually.
So the first strategy with the U.S. and its allies to try to take Europe first.
Looks like, yeah, basically 2 cups. That's good. That makes for less math today.
From the south. This began in November of 1942 with the North African campaign. And while it took a little bit of time for the U.S. to figure out how to fight this war, the Allies managed to clear out the Nazis.
1.5 cups. Should be 12 fluid ounces.
They used North Africa as a jumping point to go into Tripoli. This was an extremely rapid campaign, taking a little over a month to conquer the entire island.
The Sicily Campaign, and No Bird Sang. Farley Mowat's book on it, really good book. Read that when I was a kid. Very different Farley Mowat. Not like Dog and Wouldn't Be, Gorillas in the Mist, Owls in the Family. Nothing like those.
The Nazis had fortified a series of lines to bog down the Allies. First came the Winter Line in 1943, which was actually a series of lines, managed to hold the Allies in southern Italy all the way until June of 1944. So obviously, Italy wasn't the soft underbelly of Europe, as the Allies had hoped. They had to turn to something else. One thing that they started doing was strategic bombing. And while the whole strategy of bombing started off as more precision bombing, by the end it was just carpet bombing, where they would destroy entire cities simply for having certain military facilities. This especially got bad when incendiaries were used, which these bombs intentionally caused fires. The most famous of these bombings was Dresden. In fact, U.S. soldiers were so angry that they committed a few massacres of Nazi guards for the concentration camps. And trying to figure out how to deal with the newly surrendered Germany was quite a task. Basically, all the Allies divided up Germany into separate sectors. These zones of control ended up splitting Germany all the way until 1989. From 1945 until 1989, there was an East and a West Germany, defined by this split. Along with this was the fact that the Soviets had conquered so much territory that they were able to set up communist governments throughout Eastern Europe. This was a recipe for much conflict to come. But before that, the U.S. hadn't forgotten about the Pacific Theater. While the U.S. focused on defeating Germany in Europe, we had made significant gains in the Pacific. There were actually quite a few different fronts to this theater, for the British had been fighting to try to take back Burma, which bordered India. There was, of course, also the Chinese theater, but neither of these fronts really had significant U.S. invasion. Instead, there were basically 2 different directions of attack as the U.S. tried to get closer and closer to the Japanese mainland. Remember, they had expanded to a huge extent. So the first line of attack happened only a couple of months after Midway in Guadalcanal, where the U.S. started taking over the Solomon Islands, and then would work their way up through New Guinea, taking back the Philippines, and eventually...
How many tortillas? I think 18. I think is what the recipe says, but that's not going to make 18 because I'm making the balls too big.
A significant island in each major island group, and skipping all the islands in between, moving their way up all the way to Guam in 1944 and Iwo Jima in 1945. The far southern route was mostly led by the Army, whereas the island hopping campaign was mostly led by the Navy. But taking back the Philippines was a huge propaganda victory. After all, the Philippines were an American Commonwealth before the war.
American Commonwealth. I just learned that Commonwealth is a general term. I thought it was always the Commonwealth associated with the British Empire.
Once that reversal progressed as far as
The
Okinawa
Philippines
and
was a Commonwealth after the Spanish-American War, in which the United States acquired the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico for $20 million.
Especially in Tokyo, the capital of Japan.
Fair deal. $20 million bucks for those three places.
900,000 dead.
Even in 1898, Spanish-American War.
The U.S. kept on trying to get Japan to surrender, and without those surrenders, they had to plan what they called Operation Downfall, as in the invasion of Japan. The problem is, Americans who had been fighting these island-hopping campaigns, and in the Philippines and Okinawa, found that the Japanese often refused to surrender and would fight to the last man, or commit suicide instead of surrendering. There seemed to be an entire culture that was stopping Japan from surrendering. So Operation Downfall was planning to have to fight Japan to its last man, with an estimated 1 million American casualties as a result.
Yeah, you can really
After a conference with Allied leaders in Potsdam, a declaration to the Japanese called for unconditional surrender, just like Germany. But the Japanese refused to surrender, partially because unconditional surrender meant that the emperor might have to lose his imperial status. As the official Japanese response said, I consider the joint proclamation a rehash of the declaration at the Cairo Conference. As for the government,
means both
it
unconditional
does not
and
attach
conditional
any
in
value to it
Japanese.
at all. The only thing to do is just kill it with silence, which was a Japanese proverb called mokusatsu. We will do nothing but press on to the bitter end to bring about a successful completion of the war. So with the U.S. seeing mass suicides, a refusal to surrender, and the fear of losing 1 million Americans in the invasion of Japan, the U.S. brought a new weapon to the negotiating table.
Truman
In 1942,
was led to
the
that
U.S.
decision.
started the Manhattan Project, which was created basically to rival Germany, who had their own nuclear bomb program. So yeah, the nuclear bombs were actually meant for Germany originally,
I can't believe this
but they
could
were not
actually
ready
end up
by
being
VE
18.
Day. To create these bombs, the U.S. had spent a great deal of its wartime resources simply researching and creating the 2 bombs that would be dropped on Japan. They also created a test bomb that was set off at the Trinity site in New Mexico in July of 1945. Just a few weeks after dropping a different design of bomb on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. 3 days later, they dropped another bomb on Nagasaki, which both of these combined killed between 129,000 and 226. So while they weren't as deadly as the fire bombings, these sudden flashes of destruction sort of truly was just a consequence of the war that everyone had to deal with. Even though it had been taken to the Supreme Court.
You want to flip 4 times,
Supreme Court
so we
ruled that
done
it
one
was
there.
perfectly constitutional for the U.S. to inter its own citizens, though it has rescinded that ruling since. And it wasn't until 1988 where the U.S.
Gotta make them a bit thinner.
what she had done to her own citizens by paying $20,000, or about
Apparently.
$43,000 today, to all survivors, totaling $1.6 billion, or about $3.5 billion today. But of course, that could only go to the people who had survived all the way until 1988, which came out to 82,219 people. But despite that dark chapter in America's history of World War II, we emerged as the sole superpower. As a result of the war and the U.S.'s prominence, a remodeled version of the League of Nations was created called the United Nations, which we still have today. And the most explicit mission of the UN is to prevent another world war. It's specifically an organization where nations can come together and try to diplomatically work out their differences. We can debate on whether or not that's been effective, but one thing's for sure, there hasn't been another world war. and the formation of the UN was on U.S. soil in San Francisco. It now resides in New York, clearly reflecting the prominence the U.S. held. For everybody's economy was obliterated. This is when the United States rose to prominence as the preeminent power in the world. Only 0.32% of the U.S.'s population died, less than 0.5%. For contrast, the United Kingdom lost almost triple that percentage was, but the worst affected were Germany and the Soviet Union. Germany had about 7 million people killed, and the Soviet Union had more than 20 million people killed. Comparing that with the United States, which we only lost about 420,000 people, it's a pretty stark contrast. Everybody except for the United States had to deal with a devastated economy. So we launched what's called the Marshall Plan, or the European Recovery Program, in 1948 to spend about $12 billion, or roughly the equivalent of $128 billion today.
Okay, I was just informed I really got to get it thinner, so it's pretty tricky to get it thin. Come on. I don't know if I got the skills. I don't know if I got the skills. That's crazy. Okay. God. Alright.
Just let it wait a little bit, and you will fix it later.
You want to press down to try to get it right against the pan there. That'll create steam internally. Push it up, apparently. That's how it cooks through. To me, it doesn't matter. But to some people, it matters.
Some Mexican people.
Every culture has something to share, you know. Mexican culture cares a lot about food, I find. And my culture is different. Many things to care about. Many things. Yeah, I can see. Ooh, okay. Oh, went right through. So you can see the benefits of having a tortilleria, because you can get this down to a assembly line big machine go pull it off. What I'm doing here is very inefficient, but you know, efficiency is a very politically laden word, dripping with ideology, as I've heard it quoted.